Potent Ponder, and I'm back with another video. Yo, please come and thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you have my videos in your possession each and every time I go live or I do uploads. I hope y'all all doing well. I wanted to come and talk about this Nicki Minaj and Roc Nation situation. Desiree Perez over there, making the moves behind the scenes for Jay-Z and all of them, right? Well, Nicki, she took to her Twitter page and she was talking about a few incidents that has just been going on that, in regards to her accounts across all social medias being under surveillance, her audiences being limited, being shadow banned and all of that too. I just feel at first I'm just like, damn, it's a new day, it's something else. I'm like, damn. But then I thought about it and I'm just like, when you're in this music industry, especially if you do Nicki, she's the talent, right? What she brings forth, people appreciate it. They've been appreciating it for almost 20 years. But the thing is, it's just like, I feel like Nicki, she knows she that bitch. So when it comes to moving the way that she moves, she don't move like she got to kiss ass. And I think that in this industry, a lot of people, if you look at it, and I just want to say this so that you understand, right? In the industry, if you look at the people like the Little Kim or the Cardi B or certain people who will just kiss the ass and play the industry games, Foxy Brown had it hard because she wasn't kissing no ass at all, right? She wasn't. Nicki, thank God, Nicki, she built her career up so much. That's why I felt like she came to get everything Foxy didn't get, and she pushed it through. She pushed the boundaries, what I'm saying? So as a fan who loves Foxy and see how she was stifled by the industry and how they beat her down, I don't think they could do the same thing to Nicki, but that doesn't mean that I should turn the eye and be like, well, since that she didn't have it as bad, I do still think that Nicki does get sabotaged. She does get suppressed in regards to, her reach with her audience, especially on Instagram and just a lot of different places. If you see it. But I feel like Nicki still has an abiding fan base that when she drops something, we're going to show up and we're going to move, right? Well, the Desiree Perez, who works over at Roc Nation, her daughter, Desiree, she actually went on Instagram Live. And I want to read an article about different things Nicki talked about after I play this. But her Desiree Perez daughter went on live with, I think that this is some sort of Nicki fan or whatever. But let's just get into what she had to say regarding what Nicki has yesterday, what she was coming out with, saying how she's being targeted. And Nicki even mentioned that this is why she doesn't release music, because of how they're playing with her audience and trying to sabotage her. So listen, let's get into this.
Against the streaming companies, it's been Nicki against the Grammys, it's been Nicki against Billboard, it's been her against all these different people. And because she continues to bring things to light or speak up for your situation, it makes me have a lot of questions. Why is it?
I know. I haven't spoken to her, by the way, so I'm going to put that on the record. I have not been in direct contact with her. Would love to. Would love to. I think she's standing up for me because she has been through some trauma and some abuse with Roc Nation, with Desiree Perez, with other individuals. What I can say about that is I've witnessed and heard a lot of things. Again, is hearsay, right? So it doesn't even matter. And that's why I'm not even going to go into detail with that. If I have the opportunity to speak with Nicki, would love to connect with her on that. But I've kind of seen, just like you firsthand, how they've they've abused her. They've abused of her platform. They've abused of her talents. They've abused of her freedom of speech. They've abused her family. They've attacked her husband. They've attacked her child. And it's sad. It's really sad. Somebody so resourceful, talented, high profile as Nicki Minaj being targeted. It should really scare the American people. It should really scare you guys too, right? Because I'm the daughter. So it's at this point, if it's happening to me, I think she's really outspoken, and I'm grateful that she's being outspoken on it, because I think she's almost seeing it well, it happened to me. It's happening to her. Let me speak up on it. Nobody is safe right now. And she's fed up. I think she's fed up because she's been through a lot. I've heard a lot.
Sorry to jump in. was just saying, she even specified that everything that they're doing to you and that they have been doing to you, that they've been doing for years. She specified in her tweets talking about the way they were going in and manipulating her social media, shadow banning what she had to say, taking her stuff down. She even said that she's not releasing music this year because of all the efforts that allegedly Rock Nation has been doing to sabotage her. And even if you go back, her old manager, Deb, was offered $5 million to abandon her on tour and try to sabotage her entire tour. We even saw her be put in jail while she was overseas for something that was absolute nonsense. So I really wonder, is it the same ops that she has, the same people that she has pissed off, that you're having to deal with now too?
That's a good question. I think allegedly, I don't have like the proof that I have and the receipts that I have for my case are very concrete. When this stuff was going on with Nicki, I was kind of oblivious, right? Because I was still very much had a relationship with my mother, so I was oblivious of the receipts that there may have been. So I didn't think to collect receipts or anything like that. I just heard a lot of stuff, right? Hearsay, which, you know, in a court of law, it doesn't hold any weight. So for my case, it's easier to speak on that because of the receipts. For her case, I'm just going to speak as an observer, just like all of you on here. And from what I've read, right, on the blogs and from what I've seen, yeah, I think that Rock Nation has attacked her. I think that they have abused their influence and their power to tarnish Nicki Minaj's image. I mean, I heard, just like all of you, rumors that were going around that she was a drug addict. The Nicki Minaj that I grew up listening to and love and admire, never in my life suspected had a drug addiction. So when that was circulating, I was like, well, you know, where is that coming from? And then I was like, well, you know, that's kind of far-fetched. And then look at what happened to me. I got accused of being a drug addict as well. And I had the scientific proof. I'm sure Nicki probably has a scientific proof as well. I don't have her proof. I can't speak on her experience and I don't want to. That's why I hope to connect with her, because would love to hear her firsthand experience on that. But as an outsider looking in with you know, parallels to my case and some of the things I've read about her situation, it's concerning, it's frightening, and I do think there is enough to speculate, allegedly, that Rock Nation probably, most likely, abused their platform and their influence to kind of, you know, tarnish Nicki Minaj's image.
Now listen, now with that right there is Desiree Perez's daughter, Desiree, right? Now I appreciate her coming out and just being transparent. And then, you know, she was very careful with what she said. She said that, you know, she would like to speak to Nicki. She didn't want to put any words out there in her mouth. But my whole thing is this, right? Shout out to this young lady, but at the end of the day, that's still Desiree's daughter. I hope that Nicki wouldn't speak to her. I know that Nicki is aware, but like speaking to a person like that, like, you know, I hope she doesn't tell her any details, you know, maybe surface level things, because at the end of the day, that's still Desiree's daughter. And you don't know what could be happening behind the scenes. Like this could be a damn setup. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying, you know, the young lady does have a lawsuit currently out there against Rock Nation, Desiree, all of them, right? But the thing is, it's just that, you know, I've learned from the people in the industry, you can't trust these people at all, right? And this is why I be trying to tell y'all, when it comes to this whole industry thing, we see the glitz, the glam, and the fame, right? But I would not want to trade places. Like, even though, like, I love a lot of these celebrities and their music, but it just seems like a dog eat dog world. It's like sabotage. How she mentioned people putting that out there, making it seem like she's a drug addict. They've been doing that for years, though, right? With her marriage, saying disparaging comments about her son. And I've read something where, in this article actually that I'm about to read from All Hip Hop, they can be a shady source sometimes too, but I wanted to kind of like read an article that had a lot of the, you know, different takes from Twitter, but they mentioned that Rock Nation has been going at Nicki since her beef with Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know how valid that is. I feel like it stems from something a little deeper. But anyway, let's get into this article from allhiphop.com. It says Nicki Minaj hints at explosive Rock Nation revelations in cryptic tweet storm. All right. So Nicki Minaj called out Rock Nation and its CEO Desiree Perez in a series of cryptic tweets promoting to reveal juicy truths. Nicki Minaj lit up social media on Thursday night, June 19, with a string of cryptic tweets aimed at Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and its CEO Desiree Perez, hinting at an explosive revelations and accusing the company of shady tactics, right? So, and it was revealed that I seen on Nicki page where it was saying that Jay-Z and Roc Nation actually have some sort of connections to Twitter. So, and Nicki mentioned that she felt as though that her social media accounts were all under surveillance, that they had the passwords, they've been going to her accounts. All right, so let's get into it. So the New York City rapper kicked off things with a vague but pointed message. Needing the barbs is at an all-time high for every distraction. So let me start by telling you what I found out about them. Real juicy confirmations, Nicki says, right? So she added the hashtag paid moles and the phrase order in the court, suggesting that she was gearing up to expose what she described as behind-the-scenes manipulation. And I do believe that is true. They've been messing with this girl for a while, right? Because they want Megan to be big like her. Atlantic Records even tried to mess with Nicki before. They want Megan to be huge, but she ain't huge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Megan, where's she at right now? Didn't she just come out with something? Still trying to get her not Dua Lipa, her Billie Eilish or Ariana Grande collaboration. She's trying to be on pop radio again. Please. All right. So Minaj then claimed that Twitter asked the feature to see people's likes, implying that it was a part of a broader effort to silence her. Now, I believe that they silenced the likes around election time so that we couldn't see what Elon Musk and all of those other racist white people were liking. I actually like that the likes are gone, because you don't realize as a content creator, a lot of people stalk you and they want to see what's on your mind. Like, sometimes I like stuff so I could come back to it later. So, I don't think that that was probably done for Nicki, but I think that it was done around election time so people couldn't see what other people were in support of or whatever. I actually like that feature because people are stalkers and they want to see what you like. I don't think you should just be able to come to a person's page and just see what they like and just be in a business like that. But this is what Nicki said. She said, they don't want you to see what I'm liking, so the feature is demolished. She wrote, before alleging surveillance tactics, right? Listening devices, cameras, car tags, pages you don't follow under the following section, on X now. Do I get paid for that? And in my opinion, I hate that too. I hate that I see people who I'm not following tweets. I hate that. I hate it so bad. And you know what I do when I see their tweets and I don't follow them? I put suggest, not interested. I click on their profile. I am so annoyed by that. Like, real talk. I hate it with a passion. So Nicki spoke on that. I hate it, right? So she tied accusations to Jay-Z and Roc Nation by quoting her own lyrics from the Band from N.O., that is from Lil Wayne's album, a remix with Lil Wayne. NFL fire some hitters and then fire us and then call us, right? So yeah, Nicki seemingly shades, this is where it talks about Desiree Perez. Nicki seemingly shades Roc Nation CEO. Minaj also appeared to reference Desiree's ongoing legal issues with her daughter, Desiree Hatley, who is suing Perez for allegedly using her influence to have her falsely committed under Florida's Baker Marchman Acts. I think she had her like committed to the hospital. You heard what the woman just said, that she tried to allude to the fact that she was like a drug addict or something like that. All right. So in the lawsuit filed in May obtained by NBC, Desiree Hatley says that she was institutionalized for nearly 2 weeks based on fabricated claims of drug use and domestic violence, which both she and her husband deny. The prosecutors reportedly declined to pursue charges against her husband, Javon Hatley, citing a lack of evidence. So these people just try to shake the table up because they feel like they have the money and the influence. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Roc Nation is in the pocket of the feds and, you know, in the police in different states, you know, especially California. I think that they have ties. And I think this is where a lot of these labels and these huge powerhouses in music end up getting away with stuff. So Nicki said in regards to Desiree's case that it all sounded familiar, that she tweeted, trying to tear a husband away from his wife and a family with lies, friends in high places, yuck, no more distractions. She also reposted a user's comment that appeared to reference Perez's legal troubles, further fanning the flames. Nicki Minaj has a history of calling out Perez, especially over Roc. This is what they said, right? Nicki Minaj has a history of calling out Desiree Perez, especially over Roc Nation's support of Megan Thee Stallion. Megan ain't making no listen. This is bigger than that. I do think that Roc Nation has sunk their teeth into Nicki, especially in regards to Megan, because that's their investment. You know, that's the management company. So, you know, it's essentially, that is their investment. Girl still ain't going nowhere. Minaj has also taken issue with Jay-Z's and Roc Nation's involvement in the NFL and Super Bowl, further fueling the ongoing feud at the Powerhouse label. So listen, I personally, I just feel bad for Nicki because she mentioned, Nicki was supposed to go on, if we remember, first thing first, on her tour last year, The Sabotage, Deb, her manager, was offered $5 million, to get off Nicki's tour. Certain little funny instances was happening on tour where Nicki had to fire some people. Nicki was supposed to drop another album, at the end of last year. And then, things, I don't want to say if things got murky or not, but I appreciated her, giving us what she did throughout the year. I just really wish that the Pink Friday 2 album, the era was just a little bit more jam-packed with videos and different things like that. But she did what she did. She still ended up going on the road, making over $100 million on tour. She did her thing. So Nicki had a plan with that, right? But just me as a fan, I would have liked to see more videos. So she still did her thing, but I feel as though that she was getting that facing adversity while out on road, even though we showed up and seen her tour look amazing, production looked so dope. But, behind the scenes, things just wasn't what it seems like, you know what I'm saying? And I can imagine, like I was telling y'all, I speak to a specific artist that's in the game, and they were telling me, like, it's so much to get through. Like, you think that you're just going to pick up your mic and then hit stage and do, record music, but it's so much red tape to get through. And I can imagine what Nicki goes through because she's powerful. She's going to open her mouth and not stay silent. Nicki used to be silent. If you think about it, in the early 2000s, whatever, we didn't get a lot from her. Now she's a little bit more revealing, but now she, with her voicing her opinion, sometimes I feel like, damn, like they gonna really try to stick it to her. But as long as, they can't take her talent from her. That's just what they can't do. They can't take her talent from her, and Nicki will always be relevant no matter how much these algorithms try to trick you and try to push certain artists over other ones. Come on, man. You seen what they tried to do with Megan Thee Stallion the last time with her last 2, Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 and Act 2 ain't go nowhere. And listen, it ain't go nowhere. So I'm pretty sure Roc Nation, they looking at the analytics and getting into specifics and realizing that she ain't doing them digits. So I think that some of this is rooted in the Megan Thee Stallion. I do think it is. And then the other part of it is probably just rooted in sheer hate for Nicki Minaj. And, she said she's not going to release music this year. So damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just unfortunate because, we love to get new Nicki music. She probably jumped on the Wayne track. He probably asked her to do that, and she did it as a solid to, the person who gave her the opportunity in the music industry. But it's a madness. How many of y'all wanted to be in this music industry? How many of y'all happy that you didn't get into it? This industry is crazy. You got the Diddy freak offs. You got Tyler Perry running around. You got Fat Joe, that accusation with it's like, I feel like it's dope watching from a fan, but when you start to look to see how many different energies you're connected to and different people that you're around. So I think Roc Nation initially, I think they wanted Nicki maybe years ago to manage her, and she just didn't. I think there may be some animosity there, that whole title situation too, with Nicki being owed money. It's a lot going on with this. I think it's a lot going on in the background. And then throughout this all, we see stuff where Nicki sends stuff to Beyonce. She sends her nails, and then Beyonce sends her stuff, as well. So, maybe they just have love for each other, but, the Jay-Z and Roc Nation thing, I think that is really causing, an issue, a bigger issue than we'll ever be able to understand or see. But I appreciate Nicki for being transparent and just letting us know these things is, what's going on in the background. But listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. I want you to get in the comments. Let me know what you think about Nicki facing these troubles and her coming forward and just letting us know about them putting her under surveillance, navigating, going through her accounts. What are they looking for in her accounts? Are they, trying to stifle her and, her growth and all of that? I don't know, man. Just keep supporting Nicki if that's an artist that you love and that you rep. Just do your thing all the time. She come out with something, stream it, support it. That's what I do, and that's the way that I show up. That's why nobody can tell me anything when it comes to what I talk about on my channel or the way that I choose to move. Potent, pondering, never pandering. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm up out of here. Peace.